You know what the irony in all of this is that Iran has shown its capabilities in two ways, where the United States is unfortunately catching up. One is using cheap drones, which is they've been providing those to Russia to use in Ukraine. And the second is the meme war and internet propaganda, which is something actually the Iranians have been known for and influencing.
Do you think that the Iranians would rather have their entire Navy back or their memes?
Oh, I think
when we're talking about, we have destroyed 13,000 military targets,
and this is a big distinction.
Okay, that's Scott Jennings on CNN debating a former Obama official with an off-the-wall, wild claim that Iran is winning because Iran is posting a lot of propaganda on the internet and social media memes. Iran no longer has much of a military. 130 of Iran's naval ships and vessels sunk or damaged, its air force wiped out. But this Obama aide is not also talking about Iran slaughtering its own people. It's still doing public executions. Joining us now from House Oversight, Congressman Scott Perry. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you again. Thanks for joining us tonight. What's your reaction to this Obama aide saying, Iran is winning because of its propaganda on the internet?
Unfortunately, it's unsurprising to me, as usual. Instead of, look, in this world of they can't stand anything Trump at all, they'll even side with a terrorist Islamist regime that beheads its own people, shoots them in the street at the rate of tens of thousands. That's who they will side with. Instead of blaming the terrorist regime that took over in 1979 for all these problems that not only we have had, but the world has had, it's just their form and fashion that they have to blame President Trump or anybody associated with President Trump. They just simply can't help themselves. And if it means disparaging America, well, so be it. And that's why, quite honestly, the Democrat Party is sunk so low in the polls. I can say that the American people aren't really thrilled. Generally, sometimes with the Republican Party, we're not producing enough for them. Like we can't seem to get the Save America Act through the Republican-led Senate, but they're absolutely disgusted with the America Last, America-hating Democrat Party. They just can't take it, and this is why.
I mean, the president is he's already changing world history in reducing or trying to reduce this terror threat out of Iran. This is death of America, trying to get a nuclear bomb. What do you make of the Democrat criticism of the rescue? The point here is that the criticism is there was military hardware destroyed to rescue the airmen when the Taliban showed off in military parades U.S. military hardware. And then Biden was caught checking his watch as dead U.S. soldiers returned under flags. I mean, they're going after the Trump administration, destroying military assets like the two C-130 aircraft, when we're going to show the Taliban was parading tanks that it seized from the U.S., weaponry and more. What do you make of it?
Yeah, well, again, if it means disparaging Trump, they can side with the Iranian mullahs. They can side with the Taliban that doesn't allow its girls to go to school, does not allow its women to go outside, throws acid on the face of women that don't wear the head cover. I mean, that's who they're siding with. And, to criticize President Trump or this administration for having to destroy some hardware instead of letting it fall into enemy hands after what happened in Afghanistan, where we literally just gave, almost forget the military hardware. What about the cryptology equipment, and what about the sensitive material, including names and locations of people that helped the United States and the allied forces, only to watch them hung from helicopters and dropped out of helicopters, or helicopters flown by terrorists. The irony is breathtaking, and don't think that the American people don't get it for an instant. Sure, we don't want to destroy American property, but we certainly don't want to give terrorists American property, and we always want to make sure that our service members make it home. And that's a cost that we're willing to bear at all times, at any time.